right, guys, welcome back to Commission Reviews. We are here again with another comedy conversation with somebody I really am so excited to have on. We got the girl, the queen of all the things. Coco Brown is in the building. Yes, she is all the things. Yes,
Hey, what's
hilarious.
up, girl?
Hell, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How are you doing? First, let's start with that. Let's start with that.
I'm good. I'm good. In spite of everything I've been through,
Yes,
I am still standing. I have realized that I'm more than strong. I'm resilient, so
mm,
I'm good. I'm
yes,
good.
ma'am. Period. I want to really talk to you about, 'cause I talked to Hope Flood about this, as far as women being in the game. I seem like men are coming forward. You got the Cat Williams shutting down the entire world and other things. But the women have been doing it. And as far as comedy, watching black women of comedy, I feel like you guys really should get a shine. I'm not saying the men shouldn't. I'm not saying that, but it's like they're coming forward. That's cool. But I know y'all journey is different from theirs, and I wish we could hear more from you guys. Can you briefly tell me how you got into comedy? Let's start with that.
Actually, a friend of mine got me in this business. We went to college together, and he always thought I was funny. You know, we hung together. We're still good friends to this very day. And he actually plotted behind me. There was a gentleman who owned a comedy club. If you guys are familiar with Chris Paul, they used to be on the Tom
Hmm.
Joyner Morning Show
Yes.
with Huggy Lowdown. Him and his business partner, Pop Thomas, had a comedy club in Maryland back in the day. And my friend called me one day out the blue. I'm working corporate America, actually working for Ringling Brothers. I really did work
Mm.
for the circus. And he
Wow.
called me and said, "You want to go to a barbecue with me?" I said, "Sure." So I went. It was happened to be at Chris Paul's house. And I'm just being me. I didn't know I was auditioning. I had no idea because
Hmm.
apparently he had told Pop Thomas because he was saying, "Man, I wish he said him and Pop had this conversation about it. You know, they wish they could find more funnier, funny women in the city."
Okay.
Because at
Okay.
the time, this was like Northern Virginia, Maryland,
Hmm.
DC.
Hmm.
And he told him about me. He said, "Well, bring him to the barbecue." I had no idea I was auditioning. I just went and was me. And by the end of the night, he was like, "You ever thought about doing stand up? Come by my
Hmm.
open mic." And the
Hmm.
rest been history.
Wow, that is such a blessing. You've done more than just comedy. You've been on TV. You've done movies. You really have just,
Mhm.
you're a jack of all trades as far as like out there. You have all
Mhm.
the elements of being just this mega superstar. I want to get into as far as being a woman in comedy and being on the road and all the things. I know it's been
Mhm.
a positive and negative experience. Can you tell me just how you feel about being a woman on the road? I want to hear about that.
I have been blessed to the degree that, of course, I was tried in the beginning of my
Mm,
career because I was a
mm.
female. I was fresh meat. I was fresh
Right.
fish. You know what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying?
Gotcha.
But I had some great male comics who really took me under their wing, who are still my
Mentors.
dear
Gotcha. Mhm.
friends, mentors. I always say I was raised by wolves in this business. I
Mm.
wasn't raised to be just a cute female on stage showing my titties. Excuse my French.
No, you
They
love
made
it.
me they made me step up and be just as funny, if not funnier than them.
Mm,
They put me in positions that tested me constantly. They
mm,
didn't let me rely on the fact that I had a big chest or I was pretty or whatever. They made me say, "You want to be one of us, you gonna be one of us. You're not gonna get away with it just because you're cute."
mm,
And they taught me the game. They told me they said, don't sleep with these cats. Don't be out here, letting them convince you to give up some booty for some stage time. They were very protective of me.
mm.
And I'm grateful to that because they still are to this day. So um, I know a lot of females that, and I actually had this conversation with a young female comic last night. She
Okay.
said, what's some advice you could give me? And I said, make it on your feet, not your knees or your back
Hmm.
because you want to be respected. I want to be sitting in a car full of comics and hear about how funny you are, not how good your coochie is.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. That's a world
So,
ride.
and that's real talk. So it's
Yes.
like I'm just grateful that I had brothers in this game that taught me the game. They didn't raise me to be a female comic. They raised me to be a comedian.
Period. Period.
Period.
Ooh. Oh, I love
Period.
it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That can be useful even in the blogging business, acting. That can go with anything. I love it because that's actually a true
Mhm.
statement. So with Cat Williams coming on the Shay Shay show and blowing up the things, and I've said this to everybody, people so late to comedy, like it's just now, so whatever. I said, y'all late, it's been like this. It's been funny, it's been whatever. What was your take on it? Sitting back watching this all happen, like y'all saying something this old. So I want to hear your
Well,
opinion
I
about
mean,
that.
honestly, yeah, because if you're in the fraternity,
Right.
sorority, secret group that called Black Stand Up Comedy. This was not new to any of us.
Right.
The people that were acting like it was new are probably not in the industry, or they're very new to the industry.
Gotcha.
Cat has always been no filter. Cat has
Mhm.
always been a man that spoke his mind and spoke his truth. So that wasn't new to us. Um, I can't lie. For me personally, that was the one time I was so happy my name was not in the room. Uh, baby, I had to say thank you,
She was like, "Thank
Jesus.
God, thank God,
You know how they
Jehovah."
say your name be in rooms you've yet to
Right,
step in. I'm like,
right,
woo, I'm so
right,
glad my name
right.
wasn't in that room.
Ooh, Jesus.
But but a lot of what he said has come to fruition.
Mm,
And we're seeing it now. It's just been put on display. It used to
interesting.
be what we only spoke of in the green room. This used to be
Mm,
green room talk.
gotcha.
Now it's on Front Street, and unfortunately, you have people now who have access to the green room because they're privy to information that we usually only shared amongst ourselves.
Wow. The thing of it is, it's like you guys have been here. Like I said, you got a many comedians out here. You got the Mike Epps to a Corey Holcomb. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It's like you have controversy,
Hmm.
all different things. It's like I think everybody
Hmm.
has a place in this business. Do you feel that they're
Hmm.
putting you guys in different categories? Look at, you see the Mike Epps has a TV show and he's still doing stand-up. You guys are
Hmm.
being judged by being called mild. Now, look, I'm just saying there's being a beast and
Mild.
everything. Well, that's the whole thing with Corey Holcomb calling that man mild. I said, Lord Jesus. So that's new to
Well,
me.
my thing is this,
Go ahead.
I've realized that it's a rite of passage to have Corey
Okay.
Holcomb speak ill of you.
Mm,
Me and Corey had beef years ago, and it was a
okay.
beef that I didn't see coming. I didn't know we had a beef. The next thing I
Right.
know, yo, Corey talking trash about you, and I was like, for real? I just saw him, you know. So,
Right. Right. Wow. Because he do
so
be going
it
in.
was one of those things that I'm realizing now. It's some kind of like rite of passage that if Corey hasn't spoken ill about you, obviously you're not relevant.
Period. Okay. I like how
So
you put that.
obviously, so at this point, I'm like, hey, I'm relevant. Corey talks shit about
Mm-hmm.
me too.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something.
So.
But see, look, now me myself, I've been following your career for a minute. I want to ask you, how was it getting into acting? I know the Tyler Perry
Mhm,
shows and everything else. How did that
mhm.
transition happen from the stand-up to, being on the screen, watching us all the time?
Well, what a lot of people don't know about me is that I've been doing musical theater since I was 10 years old.
Oh, beautiful. Let's go.
My
I
mom
love it.
stuck me in community theater and
Uh,
stuck me. I was doing
come on, mama.
plays and all that since I was 10 years old. I was a creative child. I was always having
Mm,
like these little plays with my dolls and my friends. I would make them all do plays. I've always been that dramatic little girl, you know what
wow.
I'm saying?
Right.
That was always, very creative. So my mom was like encouraging me. My fifth grade teacher, shout out Miss Sandy Marshall. I always
Hey.
say she's the one who just put that fire in me that I
Hmm.
never knew
Hmm.
would be what I did for a living because she was the first one to put me a lead in a play when I was in the fifth grade and then went from there. And, I did drama all through elementary, middle school, high school, minored in theater in
Mm,
college. But honestly, I never thought this was going to be what I did for a living. And I think that's more so coming from how I was raised in the sense
okay.
that I was raised so traditionally Southern
Hmm.
in terms of I went to charm school, Jack and
Oh,
Jill. I
okay.
was
Wow.
supposed to go and go to a good school, meet a nice young man with good pedigree, get married,
Mm,
have some babies,
okay.
come to my parents house on Sundays after church with our children, like it
Come
was
on, soul
very.
food.
I grew up very, very, I'll keep it 100. Even though my father was blue collar, he was a pipe fitter,
Right.
my mother was a
Right.
school teacher. I
Gotcha.
grew up way more close to the Huxtables than I did good
Same
homes.
here. I
Okay.
get you. I get you. Same here.
So,
Mm,
so for me, I went so left when I told my parents I'm gonna do stand up, even though they were like, well, they put me in this and they, supported my creativity, but they didn't think that that was what, I was gonna end up doing.
right.
So for me, becoming a stand up, I was never afraid of the stage. I'd been on it since I was 10 years old.
Hmm.
So then to, start doing the stand up and learning the business, that's the one thing I did do. I had great mentors from the fabulous Fat Doctor to Tony Woods
Wow.
to,
Ooh.
Talent, JB Smooth. I could
Yeah,
go
oh
down the list of
yes.
the cats
Yes.
who
Yes.
taught me the game and taught me how to be a comedian, not just get up there and talk trash. They taught me the game. And so, because I was a theater kid, it
Mm,
was very easy for me to learn how to take that timing, that delivery, set up punchlines. It was very easy because I mean, you have to do that when you're on stage
yeah,
in front of people delivering
very
lines.
important. Mm-hmm.
So, transitioning from stand up to acting was just what I was told you're supposed to do. In the era that I was doing stand up, the whole goal of being a stand up was to get discovered, to get a pilot, to get a sitcom, to have your own
Right,
show.
right.
Now that was like the transition. You hone your craft on the East Coast, then you go to the West Coast to get you a deal.
Gotcha.
Okay, a TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's, that's before now the internet and all that. When now all you gotta
Right.
do is sit in front of your computer long enough and Hollywood will come get you whether you can
Yep.
act or not.
Make a skit or something. Period.
So exactly. They don't care. They'll get you
Mm-hmm.
acting classes and a coach and all that. Where I came into the game, you had to be trained. You had to have
Mm,
something. You just couldn't
mm.
come in, and looking dead in the camera. You had to
Right.
know something.
Right.
Um, so for me, it was so funny because I had done some bit parts and I had done like Lakeview Terrace and American Carol, some other little movies, little cameos and stuff, but I hadn't done anything major. And I had gotten discouraged and I went back to
Mm.
school. Went to school online and got my master's in education while I was in
Ooh.
LA trying to
Let's
figure out
go.
if this is something I want to do for the rest
I
of my
love
life
that.
because
Yes.
I'd always enjoyed, kids. I enjoyed
Right.
educating. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, well,
Mm.
I'm going to get my master's in education just as a backup plan. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you get in this business, you can't have a backup plan. And I will say, in my opinion, you're a damn fool if you don't.
Yes.
This business is
Mm.
too dang fickle.
Hmm.
And the way this cancel culture is set up, you better have a plan B, plan C, plan D. Because I personally don't want the story where I'm living in my car to make it. I don't,
Look,
no.
you better tell them
If
again.
I'm broke, I'm dead. If I'm broke, I'm dead. So no.
Yes.
So so I was in the process of applying for jobs to go teach when I got the call
Wow.
about For Better or Worse with Tyler Perry. And that changed the whole course of my life where I stayed in the business and then things began to really thrive for me and I saw a lot of great roles. John Singleton believed in me. He brought me in for Snowfall. I didn't get it. He
Yeah.
said, well, I got something else for you. That turned into 9 months on a little show called American Crime Story,
Come
People
on
versus
now.
OJ. And
Yes.
then that
Yes.
show
Yes.
led to me
Oh,
playing Carla on 911 because I got me in front of Ryan Murphy. So that led to me playing Carla on 911 for 5 seasons. So, and then The
whew.
Neighborhood, shout out to Cedric Entertainer,
Yeah.
who every time he gets a show, he puts me on it. I love him for that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it just led to other things, and it's funny because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day that, I'll be looking at some of these like BET Christmas movies, stuff like, dang, they'll never call me for that. And she said, girl, because you a crossover. They don't, you done did too much white stuff.
Look, not the Chris Tucker thing.
I said, but
You
I'm
know, Chris
black
Tucker went over,
people.
he went over to Jackie Chan. He can't come after Friday. That's kind of like
Right.
what
You know what I'm
happened.
saying? It's like, I was like, what do you mean I can't do
Wow. Wow. Yeah, the
BET or
9/11.
TV1? What?
I'm
They
9/11.
said, well, girl,
That's
because
one
you
of my favorite
mainstream
characters.
now. I'm mainstream. I can act.
Mm.
Acting ain't got no color.
But
But
I wouldn't know.
that's
I
just,
get what you're
but
saying,
yeah,
but
that's so
I
I
get
mean,
what
I
she's
just think
saying.
it's
I get what she's saying. You have been not a
mhm.
911 is one of my mom's favorite characters. I'm telling you, when you was on there, she was so upset. She's like, "Where did she go?" You one of her favorite characters. I mean, she fell off the show anyway. But when I say every week
Yeah.
she has something to say about you, I was like, I like her. So I'll really briefly talk about that. It's a big show, a big network. How is that going
hmm
to work every day?
hmm
I know it's a blessing. How does that feel?
Well, I didn't go every day. I was heavily reoccurring. I wish to God I could have been a series
Well,
regular because them
okay.
checks hit different. But
Mm,
um, but I was a heavily reoccurring, which was great. It was a great ride. I think that was the show that really made people go, "Oh, she's just not that kind of actress."
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because after doing a 6 year, stint with For Better or Worse, people
Yeah.
have a tendency to pigeonhole you. You know what I'm saying? And stereotype you. And they
Mm,
think, oh, that's all you can
right.
do or, whatever. So I always give honor and glory to the man, John Singleton, because God rest his soul, that man believed in me
Mm.
and he saw that there was more to me than just being somebody's fat, funny sidekick.
Come on now. Come on now.
He
Ooh.
saw more and he told me that he was going to help me and he did. That
Mm,
man kept his word and he did. Because if it wasn't for
that's
him,
beautiful.
I wouldn't have been on, I wouldn't have been on American Crime Story. I wouldn't have gotten in the room for Snowfall, even though I didn't get the role. I wouldn't have
Right.
been on 911 if it wasn't for the door that John Singleton opened for me because he believed in me and saw more in me than just me being, like I said, somebody's fat, funny sidekick.
Mm,
Um, but I appreciate those roles because to me it showed my range, it showed my versatility, that I am a trained actress. I am not just somebody they found on the internet and said, here, and stuck me in a show because
mm,
I'm popular.
mm.
People hire me because they like what I bring to characters. So I think it gave me
Talent.
some good validity in the business where they saw, okay, we can put her as a battered woman and we can also put her as the comic relief and everything in between.
Yes, because you can do all of it. You're very talented,
Mhm.
and that your
Thank
your
you.
past is beautiful. Like all the trains you have. Ooh, I love it. I want to ask you about your personal life. You were, of course, trending all over the place about your house
Hmm.
and that situation. That has to be a such a subject because people go through stuff all the time, but in the
Hmm.
public eye, that's completely
Hmm.
different. How in the world
Hmm.
did you deal with that? That seemed to be such a tough situation.
To be honest with you, I shut the world out for a while.
Mm,
Because I know
mm,
what a vicious, insensitive place social media can be.
yes.
And when
Yes.
it leaked what Perry did for me, I knew what was about to happen,
Mm,
and it did. The hate,
yeah.
the comments, the bull crap, and I said I'm not dealing with it. And I literally came off social media for about 45 days. The only
Wow.
thing you saw posting on social media was what my assistant was doing to let you know I had shows coming up.
Gotcha.
And I
Wow,
know
people
that can
hate,
be
man.
detrimental to someone in my industry, but I had to save my peace because
Yeah.
that was a lot for me. That was the coup de grace. I had already been through losing both my parents back to
Mhm.
back,
Mm.
but then to
Ooh,
turn around and
sorry
lose
about
my
that.
entire home, right after that. It's
Right.
like the devil was trying to take me out,
Mm.
like for real.
Ooh,
But uh because I shut the world off and dealt with it myself and went to therapy and had that village that kept me strong and
yeah.
got me through it, I'm saying I'm just grateful. And so when I reemerge back on social media and back out, any negativity that people tried to toss to me, it just bounced off me because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it was that was a good thing that I feel like Tyler Perry did. People, I didn't see a lot of comments. I saw
Mhm.
positive comments, to be honest. I didn't see a lot of
Yeah,
bad.
it
I
was
just saw,
mostly
yeah,
positive. But don't you love how people love to send you the negative ones?
yeah, they do because they mad for whatever
It's
the
like they
reason.
search for them or something. Because
Yes,
what I
yes,
was seeing was very positive, but
me too.
you always got that one person, two people that love to say, screenshot, girl, look what this person. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you, got you.
But people can be a little asinine.
Yes.
Like people were still donating to my GoFundMe, which I didn't even know existed till 2 weeks after the fire. I didn't even know there was
Wow.
a GoFundMe out because my assistant and my brother did it.
Mm.
So I didn't even know there was a GoFundMe out. And people was like, "Well, ain't you got enough money?" And I'm like, "Huh? What do you mean?"
Oh, wow.
I was completely oblivious
Right.
until I was like, "Oh, I got a GoFundMe,"
Mm.
But
People so.
because
Ooh.
I'm such an independent person, I would have
Yes.
never asked. I would never done that. I'd have never done that.
Mm,
I'd have fit,
mm,
and I dare go sure would have never. I wouldn't have went to Tyler. I wouldn't have went to him. It's like, but people, I realized one big thing is that I'm pretty loved and respected out here in
yes,
these streets. And
yes.
the legacy I was trying to build has already been created.
Ah, come on. That's beautiful.
So I'm
Love
I'm
it.
good. I'm
Yes.
good. You know,
If
it
you don't
had
mind
to
me
happen.
asking.
It
Oh,
had to
sorry.
happen for me to find this out.
Yes. I just want to briefly ask you, how did it get started? I don't remember reading, or do you not want to talk about that? How it actually
I can't
happened?
really talk about it because right
Okay,
now
okay,
it's a
okay.
pending legal situation.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha,
let's just
gotcha.
say, don't leave lit things unattended in your home.
Yeah. Woo.
I'll leave it at
Man,
that. I'll leave it at
well,
that.
I will say that your perseverance and everything that you've done, survival is commendable. And, a lot of us look up to you because when that happened, a lot of it behind the scenes was like, that is such a hard thing. And I see her smiling. That's all I was saying to my girl. We were looking at her, I said, look, she's smiling. She's being positive. She's still doing her grinding, everything else. And even with
I'm
Tyler doing
blessed.
that,
I'm blessed.
you are so blessed.
In the midst of
I
all
didn't
of
see
this, I
no
am
negative.
so blessed. And I think it would be an insult to the man above if I was
Mm,
to complain or be in a bad mood because
mm,
how he has blessed me through so many vessels of people. Some I didn't even realize. knew me like that, and
Mm.
strangers. I've had people stop me in Walmart. Baby, what's your cash
Oh
app? I just want to help you,
wow.
baby. Like, are you kidding me? And it made
Wow.
me realize something. I'm so grateful that my son is seeing this, and I hate that he had to go through this traumatic experience, but he's
Right.
so resilient. That little boy is amazing.
That's beautiful too.
But I'm glad that he's seeing this through his mother, that it does pay to
Mm.
be a good person, that you don't
Ooh,
have to be a cruddy,
powerful.
hateful, spiteful, manipulative, narcissistic butthole to win out here. You can actually plant good seeds and they will return to you tenfold when you need them.
Mm.
Because that's what he's seeing. Because every person that is, fed into me during this time, all I hear across the board is, "You're such a good person, Coco.
Mm.
You're such a good person. You're such
I
a good
love it.
person." And that means something.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm
does.
saying? Like, and
Mhm.
anybody hating, I guess you didn't get to know me, so you're just going by what you think you know.
And they don't know anything.
So
It's usually somebody
they
that's
don't know
already
anything.
they miserable in their own life, to tell you the truth. That's most time
Yeah,
what
and
it
so
is.
I pray for him and keep it moving. But
Hey,
this,
that's
I'm
all you
so
can
glad my
do.
son is seeing that your character and your integrity being stellar is better than your character and your integrity being lacking.
Mm. And he's
If that
probably going.
makes any
That's
sense.
going to actually make him a better man anyway. When things get really hard
Hmm.
for him, he's gonna be like, "Look, I done been through a lot. You know, say I can handle
Hmm.
this." I want to ask you
Yeah.
this final question about as far as being rules and regulations and stand up. When
Mm.
Corey Holcomb did kind of come at Donnell Williams, it was a debate back and forth on the internet
You
saying
mean Rollins, Donnell
Don,
Rollins?
I'm sorry, Donnell Rollins, sorry, Donnell Rollins, saying
Okay, okay.
that he was wrong for coming at Corey in the middle of his act, but saying Corey was wrong.
Oh
Is
yeah, I remember hearing
Yeah,
about that. Was that
right.
the Laugh Factory? Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
he was. So I know there's like probably an unspoken rule between you guys. So, on your opinion on that, if somebody's on stage doing something that you don't like, is it wrong to speak in the middle of the act? Is that like an unspoken rule? Like, don't say nothing or come.
Kinda.
Mm,
I
okay.
mean, now you up there saying something about my child.
Okay. Oh,
You talking about something personal I shared with you. Like, I think there are extenuating circumstances
okay.
that I will interrupt your damn show if you out of pocket. I think there are circumstances that require, like, oh, I'm shutting this down. You must
Uh,
think I'm a fool. You must think I'm a punk.
mm,
But I think it requires extenuating circumstances,
okay.
and that's subjective. And that's subjective. You don't know what triggers somebody.
True. True. That makes
So, I
sense.
mean, yeah, that's two grown ass men. And so what happened happened. Anybody that knows, Corey, that's Corey's MO, controversy. Let's start
It
some
is.
track. Let's,
Yeah.
I mean, if he went on there and talked about the Lord for 2 seconds, I'd be like, something wrong with Corey.
Mm.
Well,
Like,
somebody
what
go check on him. He
happened?
talking about Jesus. He talking about Jesus.
Did he play Black Jesus too? No, I'm just playing. No, he did. I'm just playing.
No, that was the other
I
guy, but
know.
I'm just saying he was
I'm
on
just
that
being
show.
silly.
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, that is so his MO to be messy and start controversy and attack people and go after people, that if he was to do anything different, we'd be like, yeah, all right.
Mm,
you know.
got you.
But at
Got
the
you.
same token, you don't know what was going on in Donnell's life at that very second that he was triggered by what Corey said. So that's
Okay.
I can't speak for what triggers
No,
anybody.
but that makes sense though. It depends on the circumstance. I didn't think about that as far as what they're saying on
Mhm.
stage that can cause a person to
Yeah.
say something or whatever. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Well, what do you have got coming up for you? I know you booked and busy. So what's going on with Miss Coco Brown?
Well, right now at this very moment, I'm in Dayton, Ohio. Have one more show, last show tonight here in the Funny Bone. Next week, let me see, Monday night in Atlanta at the Hyatt Regency, I'll be hosting the Stillman College alumni fundraiser. So if you guys want to help a great HBCU come through
Yes.
and support a great cause. And Tuesday through Thursday, I'll be in North Carolina shooting a movie called The Shot, which is based on the final day in the Lorraine Hotel on the day MLK was assassinated.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Then Friday through Sunday,
Mm.
I'm in Richmond, Virginia at the Richmond Funny Bone. So come get some of these laughs. And then the week after that, I don't even know. Just go to my website, y'all. Coca Brown,
I'll have a mhm.
COCOA Brown, the number 4life.com. Or you can always just Google me, Coca Brown. Please don't forget that COCOA Brown. And everything Coca Brown that is me will come up and you can find out where I'll be next.
I will have her website and everything in the description once the video drops.
Good.
But I wanted to say thank you again for coming on, Mama. Golly, man, you are so colorful and you have a past that I didn't even know about. You're very educated, very talented. Your background to
Yes.
me it just really adds and makes sense. Because your acting chops is everything. I'm just gonna say that. So I love it.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what you have in the future. And again, you went through so much, and to be so
Thank you.
strong, to be so strong the way you are, I just, I just want to say
It's
a
called
lot of
resilience.
blessings. Yes, I
I
see a
tell people I'm
lot
not
of
strong
blessings.
because strong can break. I'm resilient.
Ah, okay. Okay, my bad. We'll go with that, mama. And I'm probably gonna steal that from you. I'm probably gonna steal it because I usually use that and been called that. I'm gonna
It'll
steal
be on a
that. I
shirt,
like
so
it.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
All right,
strong can
mama,
break,
y'all.
baby. I'm resilient. That's the
Woo!
difference.
This is
Y'all have a
Commission
good one. Thank you
Reviews.
so much for having me,
Yes,
sister.
ma'am. I appreciate you coming on. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so All right, guys. Welcome back to Commission Reviews. We have another comedy gold in the background. Well, first of all, this queen was my actual first interview. The bad thing about it is that I cannot find that freaking interview because I deleted the channel. All I got is a damn clip. But I said I'm gonna interview Hope Floods again one day. So I'm so excited to have her come to my platform. So the queen is in the building again. What is going on? Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. How you doing, mama? Yes.
I'm so
Yes, I
excited.
cannot
I'm
find
so
my
excited to be here that I'm honoring you
I can't find
with
applause.
my Dallas
I'm so
Cowboy
and
stuff. I'm honoring you with my Dallas Cowboy.
look, y'all look, she has the freaking even though y'all know I claim Louisiana most of the time and Texas sometimes, but it's all good. So anyway, look, she's the queen, y'all. You have to understand when we talk about the comedies, and even when you think of queens of comedies, don't say to nobody else, it's not. But she's always been, as far as I'm concerned, the queen, who I feel like so underrated, still funny as hell. I'm pretty sure even a traffic stop is hilarious, So, but I want to start by asking you, 2024, and I've asked everybody this. I feel like that all of a sudden that comedy is funny and popular when it's been that. The Shay Shay interview with Cat Williams blew it up. But my thing is, as a fan who's been here, it's been that. It's been that. What is your opinion about that?
Well, I mean, for one, Cat is not lying about everything. A lot of those things are true, and it's his story to tell. I loved his quote that he said, "Had y'all been kinder to me, had y'all treated me better, then this narrative wouldn't be the way it is." And comedy is very territorial, especially with the men, but it's even worse with the female comedians. They don't help each other. They don't want other females on the shows with them. And it's taking us a lot longer to get there because one is not pulling the other up.
Damn. So, with that being said, you said some things he said were true. I know he had a beef with a few comments, and like you said, if you were nicer to me, I do agree that people don't miss that. All the people he spoke about him on a Shay Shay show. He just wanted to come back and say, "Hey, let me respond to all of you." But now it seems like everyone's trying to top Cat Williams' interview and coming on there. All the thing now we got Faison Love. Everybody getting into it. We had the Corey Hogan situation with Darnell Mild, him coming to his situation while he on stage, which I know that's a big no for y'all. I asked Doug about it, and people are taking sides. For you looking in as an OG in the game, what do you think is happening? I mean, we can't blame it all on Cat because everybody doing their own thing, but like ever since that interview, we've gotten so many beefs. I don't get it with Corey Holcomb getting into it with everybody. What's going on?
Well, the beefs have always been there. They just never been exposed because we didn't have social media, in a way to we didn't have these platforms to expose people and things. And really, it's that person's opinion about how they feel about that comedian or how they feel that they have been treated with their interaction with that particular comedian. And so everybody has a right to their truth. Everybody has a right to express how they feel. what it has done is really has created a really bad divide in comedy, because now everybody's like, okay, well, you stole my joke, or you stole my girl, or you did a show and didn't let me get on. And everybody's now coming out with all of their stories, and it's playing out in front of everybody. And I think it's a sad state in comedy when we are supposed to be the light of the world. We're supposed to be making everybody laugh, and now everybody looks like they're looking at us like, dang, I didn't know that everybody felt this way about each other. They're able to work together, but they feel a certain way about each other, which is in any business, of course, but it's just that it all playing out in live, in real time.
Did you experience that yourself, being on the road? Because to me, as far as being a woman, I know in the time you came up in, it was very, not popular to be a black woman, a woman, period. I know from what I've heard being in comedy. And I really want to hear about that, because I'm sure the comedy, like the Just Hilarious, the new people now, and I want to hear about how you feel about the new ones too. But I want to hear about your experience. Hearing what Kat said, I just wonder, you probably got stories too. You just haven't said anything.
Absolutely. I'm just waiting for my time, because if I go on there where I'm at, I look like a hater, or whatever. So I got people, so many people called me after Kat's interview and said, that's your story. I said, yeah, it is my story too. But I need to get back on more so I can be able to tell my stories so I don't look like a hater. I have a Monique in me. Every female comedian has a Monique in them, about their experiences on the road, their experiences as female comedians. Miss Laura said it best. They'll put $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 in a man's hands, but they won't do it to us. They won't give us those opportunities. And so, you'll see a show with 5 guys on it, and there's not one woman y'all could think of to be on the show, not one, and so we deal with that. We deal with promoters trying to sleep with us and hit on us and not have our money. Being assaulted on the road as a female comedian. I've had females experience that. Thank God I haven't experienced that, but I've experienced a lot of, work-related sexual harassment. Let me just say it that way. And so it is out there and it is real, and so I'm just waiting to tell my story about my experiences on the road. Not so much with the male comedians. A lot of them are my brothers. They have helped me along the way. I can call them up and say, hey, I'm coming to your city. Can I get down on your stage, or what you got for me? Or they'll protect me. Hope you get back to your room, or they'll walk me back to the room before they go to the clubs and parties and things like that. So I don't have a lot of the same experiences with the men as I do with the women.
That is crazy. Now I remember even the interview that I did, you spoke about Cheryl. You did. And it's like, to this day, when I see her, I think about that story. And so for those who hadn't heard it, do you mind telling it again? Because to me, people was like that. I said, I look at her different to this day. And I mean, she may have changed or whatever, but I can't help it, because it was not women empowerment. Your story, it just wasn't. So
which story? I have a lot of them.
Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus. I know that it really wasn't a story. You was kind of just saying she's up on this show, The View. Oh, just the way she treated you was not right, and how she didn't look out for you. I know you have many, but I remember that was a story.
Well, I was Cheryl Underwood's best friend for 15 years. And when she was broke, and one day in 1990, I woke up and I just said it was toxic and I didn't want to be her friend anymore. And I never spoke to her again. She called and I didn't answer the phone. And when I finally did answer, I told her, I don't want to be a friend no more. And that's my choice. And people always say, you need to go back and apologize. And I said, apologize for what? I didn't do anything. I'm happy for her success. I'm happy for everything that she's got. It was toxic. And some friendships run their course. Some friendships, some people aren't meant to be your friend forever, and you have to know when, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to go. And I was just tired of the toxicity of our friendship. I was tired that every morning she called me up and it was always some complaint because she was so depressed about her career. And so I just stopped being her friend. I miss her. I miss the fun, Cheryl. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on the road. We got stories to the grave about the things that we did on the road. similar to what the male comedians do on the road. We was doing those things and having a good time. So I miss that Cheryl. I miss that fun part of her. But do I miss the toxic Cheryl, the manic depressive Cheryl? No, I do not miss that person at all. And people tell me I'm happy for everything she got because she deserves it.
Right.
When I tell you she's a brilliant person, she has 2 master's degrees. She's a businesswoman. She's a mastermind at putting things together and being a great businesswoman. So I don't have anything to say on that. There was a time that she had said some things about me, and a girlfriend heard her on another radio show in one of those little towns, Waterloo, Iowa. When they called me up, they didn't know who she was. They were like, this lady on the radio talking about you. And so I said, record it. And she recorded it. And the person that was with her on the radio, I started texting him. And I said, tell your boss to keep my name out her mouth. I said, because when I start telling her my Carol Underwood stories, I'm going to need Secret Service. Okay. So, and she stopped and she said a few little things that she felt like I would tell about her. And I said, text her. I said, tell her she knows good and well I know everything. I know all the bodies are buried everywhere. Lunel said it best. She said, bitch, when you write the book, you're going to have to go into hiding. So,
period. Okay.
And it's
Nail,
my own platform is coming. I'm building my own platform to do my own thing, my own Club Shay Shay, because I feel like, especially with comedy, and I know Shannon, and no disrespect to him, I love the show and I love what it's doing and done. But because he's not in comedy, I felt like he didn't know the questions to really ask, because he doesn't know. He just allowed them to go there and tell their story, but he doesn't know the backstories. He doesn't know the why, the what, and who and what. How did that come about? He doesn't know that part. I really comedy and stuff. But I'm glad that he has this platform to open up this portal. This portal,
Agreed. I mean, look, a lot.
Yeah, and I hate that it's happening, but like Kat said, had you treated me better.
Yes. And that's on them. It really is on them. So, I want to ask you a question because recently with the situation with with Corey Holcomb and Darnell Rollins with the whole Miles situation, what I want to ask you is it rude to actually yell while somebody's on stage? Now I know that's a man thing, but I'm assuming it's a woman's thing too.
It's just audiences, some people in the audience, if you ain't funny or if you say something that they find offensive or that hits home to them, they'll yell out sometimes too, especially Black audiences, especially if they haven't been trained about comedy, or say comics talk about their girl or something like that, or they say something, then they will yell out. So it's not nothing new. Do comedians do that to each other all the time? No, not all the time, but it has happened before. And so Donnell, being a real G and a real nigga like Corey, he felt compelled to defend himself. I didn't see it and everything. I try to limit what I see with these guys. I try to limit it because I'm a ride or die. So I'm gonna pick a side, and then I'm not a neutral person. Like I can't. Okay, I'm very like a ride or die because I stand on the side of justice, of what I think is right.
Stand on business. Stand on business.
So picking a side,
you don't want to get involved. You don't want to give your opinion.
A lot of times that makes sense. Don't. But if somebody is right or wrong, then when I see them, I'll say something. But to publicly say being a beef that's not mine, no. But
that makes sense. That does make sense.
A New Yorker, he from the East Coast. He's got he Punk. I've known him years and years and years, and he's always been who he is. And he has a right to feel the way that he does. Corey has a right to speak like he does, like on your podcast. That's why people get these podcasts, to be able to speak freely about how they feel about issues, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's how you see it and how you feel. And that's why you get a podcast, to have a platform to talk.
Period. Because I do say what I want to say. So let me not even lie. So let me ask you a question. your career, I want to ask about it because again, you're also a very astute individual. I've always known that about you. Even in your jokes, you can tell. Where do you think what happened? I know that stand-up has always been a go-to. Now we have the skits, the social media, the things. What is your opinion about coming up the old school way and then the new way with the skits? And do you think that affects careers, yours as well?
Absolutely. You know, part of my situation is I took myself out of stand-up comedy when I moved to Dallas and started doing radio in 2000. And so I wasn't on the road as much because they were requiring me to fully focus on radio.
Okay.
And they were paying me a lot of money to do it. And so it was hard to get up in the morning at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, be on the radio, and then try to be on the road, because Monday morning I needed to be on the road. You know, so I kind of took myself out of that because I had been a road comic for the last 25 or 30 years, on the road consistently. And and I felt like, okay, this is another opportunity, and I ain't got to be on the road as much, and I can still make a lot of money. And now I was cool with that. Okay. And I thought that I was going to be able to do radio because I was really good at it. I was really good. And so took the station from a 0.09 to a 2.4 in less than 2 years, and that's unheard of in radio.
Oh wow!
And the owner there,
it is.
Dallas, KRMB 105.7 in Dallas, Texas, allowed me to say whatever I wanted to say. And I was open book. And people at first were not receptive of it, coming from Los Angeles, where you know, we're a free spirit state, you know, whatever, and going to the Bible Belt and speaking the way I speak and talking and being open and free to talk about situations and my experiences. People were not used to it. I'll say that. And then as I could explain it, I could say something and then explain it. And they were like, well, that makes sense. And yeah, she is right. And that became adult conversations. And so we took a lot of the listeners from the other stations who wanted to hear adult conversations.
Okay, now.
You know, so, yeah, so that's how that happened. So I took and then I got married, and I'm trying to be normal and trying to be a housewife, you know, and married. That was my first time ever getting married. And I'm trying to, that's what happens to female comedians and stuff. We get married, we get a baby, you know, these men get jealous and they take us out of they put their insecurities on us.
The whole thing.
Instead of supporting us and moving us to the next level and being my biggest cheerleader, you know. And so that's what happened, trying to keep my husband happy. You know, I took myself out of the business for a while, and then we got caught up in a syndication war with Steve Harvey and Tom Joyner at the time and Ricky Smiley, and they replaced us on the radio. Wasn't nothing we had done. Were just as high, and now probably still the same as Steve Harvey, but the owner wanted a bigger name. That's the only reason I'm not on the radio with them anymore. It's nothing that we did. And so in Dallas for some more years. It is. I stayed in Dallas for some more years trying to keep my marriage, and then I decided, you know, when it was over, it was over, and I moved to Atlanta for about a year, and then I moved back home to LA in 2012, and I've been here ever since. So, you know, I'm saying all that to say, ladies, when you're picking these men, pick a man that's going to support you like he wants you to support him. Why can't our men support us and our dreams and our careers like we are to support them and theirs, you know, and be our biggest cheerleader? Be our biggest cheerleader. Don't make you a punk. It don't make you less of a man. It makes you more of a man, that you stand behind your woman or your wife, you know.
Period.
Dream. You know, you go to work, make the money, keep the household, you know, but a man thinks like a man. So a man thinks like what he would possibly be doing if he was in a city, you know, in a hotel room, what he would do. So he thinks like that, and he doesn't, you know, so you have to be secure in your relationships. And I've seen a lot of relationships, you know, a lot of our careers get stalled because we're trying to, you know, appease our men. And that's really what happened.
I hate hearing that.
And then I was a mother. I had to raise my son, you know, so there was, even before that, in living in LA, there was only so much I could do because I had a baby and I was a single mom and I was violated in my own family as a child. And I didn't want those things to happen to my son. So I could go for 5, 6, 7 days, 8 days, and kids fear abandonment. And I would have to come home. My son started acting up in school. So I had to come home to reassure him that mommy wasn't going nowhere and, and this and that. And so, and then I didn't have real family support,
And you have to have that.
Have to have that. Nobody wanted to really help me and babysit my baby because everybody wants you to do what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And everybody wants you to be what they want you to be because of their feelings. And my mother was the same way. She did. And then I look back on it now, Kamisha, in 1989, I had a baby. He was 3 years old. And I said, Mama, I'm gonna be a comedian. And my mom was like, what the hell is that? What is that? What is that? Mama from the old school, what is that? She had never, there had not been any female Black comedians on TV or anything.
It wasn't that many. It wasn't.
You better go come over here and work at this hospital with me and learn this medical billing and stuff. Like your
Black woman, yes.
And so I kept going, and she wouldn't babysit the baby for me. So my son knows all the comedians because I would take him to the comedy club with me and be like, watch my baby. My time I needed because I was just
not watch my baby.
Watch my baby. And stuff or whatever. He in the car sleep. Go out there and sit in the car with my baby. I need to do my 10 minutes so I can get $50 so I can pay the light bill tomorrow. These are the struggle, baby. That's the struggle.
Oh Jesus, man. See, that's that real. See, you need to be this needs to be a book. This needs to be told on stage because this be some jokes. So many mamas didn't be like even me being a blogger, my family was not for this. Recording and phone you in my face, man. It took some years.
They didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. And then my mother knowing that I never stayed in anything. I do so many things and I never stayed in it. And so she was just thinking this was another thing I was trying. And after when I got 1 hour special in 97 on Comic View and I started paying her bills,
yes.
It was like, you know what, you might do something with this little comedy. I said, yeah, mama.
Not little.
I love comedy. I said, yeah,
mama boy.
Yeah. And then when my mother died at 56 years old in 2004, she told me, she said, it's okay. She said, you keep throwing something up against this wall and something is going to stick one day. And so now I'm fearless in my efforts. I'm fearless in my businesses. I'm fearless in everything that I'm doing. And so in 2012, I moved back to LA and I've been here grinding and pushing it and just having the blinders on, trying to have the blinders on. It's very, moving back home. I already lived here, but moving back home and everything's so expensive from Texas, where everything wasn't expensive at the time. It was a big culture shock. So before I moved back, I made sure I paid all my bills off so I could just live, very, very, very easily, and not grand, like
comfortable. Yeah.
Comfortable,
right.
And bare necessities because I knew how difficult it would be to live back here again and stuff. So, and I've been back home 10, 11 years, and it's been rough because everybody I was went ahead of me when I left. So 1 year out of LA, 1 day or 1 week out of LA is like a year. I was gone 7 years, and so here I am back. And it's happening again.
But the talent is there. The talent is there though.
Yeah.
But the talent is there, Hope. The talent is there. You're super funny. It's effortless. And I've always been a big supporter, and I've been like I've been looking for. I said I just want to see her do something. So what do you have going on now? Your baby's grown. You I know how that feels. I have kids in college, so you finding a different version of you. Better jokes, in my opinion. But what's the tea? What we got going on now?
Well, I'm a grandma now, first of all. So my son 37. So I'm a grandma now. I got 2 beautiful
congratulations.
Yes, my granddaughter Parker, she's my mini me. She's amazing. She draws and she likes glitter and sequins and everything. And she's just so beautiful and amazing. And then my grandson Jace, he's 10. So I get my son all over again in my grandson and everything. And he's so and amazing. And he has the heart of gold. He has empathy and compassion for others. and I just love who he
Mm.
is as a person. He's gonna be amazing dude, and he loves me to
And
death.
you're
He
gonna
loves
make
his.
sure of
I'm
it.
grand, yes,
Hmm.
I'm grantee.
Hmm.
I'm grantee, and I'm teaching them to
Period.
be fearless.
Hmm.
And I'm teaching them to be fearless. I'm teaching them that they can do whatever they want to do. You know,
Yes.
and not be fearless when we go places and they just hesitate to do stuff. I'd be like, you can do that, it's not gonna kill you. You could do that, you could talk. My grandson loves girls, he loves girls. And we went out to a sneaker ball, and there was a girl he liked, and he was like, Granty, my friend, I don't know where she went. I looked all over for her. He said, I know she hasn't left because her sister is still here. And so she came back around, he found her. He found her. I said, there she is. I said, but play it cool. You don't rush over there to her. Just play it
Right.
cool or whatever. He said, okay. And he's tied his shoes and fixed his clothes up. And then he went back over there and he played with her. And that's how I raised my son, to play it cool with him,
Like
whatever.
my mama. My mama right there with my kids. She loved my kids.
Yeah. And
Lord have
so,
mercy. Anything over my kids.
so
But
that I have this is my glitter line. It's called Hope Lips. And then I made hats. I designed hats. I used to do fedoras. Pandemic, I was doing fedoras, and then when I shut down everything and started focusing on another thing, and then I said I'm gonna do cowboy hats, and then Beyonce came up with this whole thing, and I was like,
yes.
I'm right on with it. So
this is
my Dallas Cowboy inspired hat. And then I'm in the cannabis business with my son. My son and I are in the cannabis business, and you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hope Flood. And because what I'm getting ready to start doing is educating people on the benefits of cannabis and CBD from a healing aspect, and not from just smoking weed and doing gummies or something.
Right.
That this is a healer. It's been around 100,000 years. Jesus used it to heal people, and I'm going to re-educate people. I'm an infuser. I can infuse and medicate and everything, and that's what I do. So you can go to hopeflood.com and you'll see all of my.
I'm gonna have the link on there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have your link and all your stuff on there. Because I want to know about this business.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm healing people with cannabis and CBD. My girlfriend, I hadn't heard from her in years, and she called me with lupus. She could barely talk to me 5 minutes, and she started using my products, and I can't get her off the phone. She go to the doctor. They were like, whatever you're doing, you keep doing and stuff. So my goal is to heal people, heal the world with cannabis and CBD, and re-educate people, especially older people, about the dangers of prescription drugs that'll never heal you. Prescription drugs will never heal you. Don't let them say that cannabis and CBD is bad for you. It's not. It's natural. It's a healer. The prescription drugs is what's never going to heal you. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is educating people on those benefits.
I'm so intrigued right now. My mom has lupus. That's why I was listening to you. She has lupus, so that's it's to my heart right there. And plus, I'm old and I have pain, so let's just start there.
Yeah, we all.
So your comedy career is what I really want to know. Are you going to start that up, or even if it's online, which these days you can actually do that?
I never stopped doing comedy. I just wasn't out as much. But I'm back out there. I'm looking for gigs. I'm looking for things and stuff. So I'm telling with this internet movement, we never saw this coming. We never saw this social media, internet. We never saw this coming, or we would have been on top of it as well. And we don't have a problem with the internet comedians. We just needed to be named something else and need to be put in another category, because it's not stand-up. Because those skits and those dresses and all that stuff and them wigs and all that stuff y'all doing cannot translate on stage as stand-up per se. So we're not saying do it.
That's what I've been hearing.
We're not saying don't do it, because we got multiple talents and stuff inside of us that we haven't even stirred up. What we're saying is that you can't think you're going to the comedy club and do those skits on stage, even though you have the following and the people come to see you. It's not the same. It's just not the same.
Faison Love said that. I think that's the beef between Faison Love and Country Wayne. That's kind of what the beef is. Like, you sell anything, you got Netflix special, and a lot of people are saying that what you just said is not translating on stage, and some of the audience is not feeling it. Do you feel that's also a point? They're not feeling it once they see him on stage?
The audience just wants to come and laugh. And the club owners is where the issue comes as well, because all they care about is putting asses in seats and making money. So they'll have a flying monkey up there, a magician up there. They don't care as long as people come and they're making money and keeping their doors open. So it's that just as much as their problem, or I ain't gonna say problem because it's not a problem to them, but
Right,
it's
right.
their fault as it is the internet comedians that are not studying comedy and not working on an act. Like DC Young Fly got the memo and somebody pulled him to the side, and so now he does a lot of skits, and a lot of stand-up now, and he's brilliant.
Does.
And he has these amazing stories. I really think he should be on Broadway with his stories and stuff. His act is more of something like a Broadway, a one-man show.
Yeah, like the Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah. It is.
It's more that and stuff. And the rest of them, I don't really look at them. So I hear they're trying to do stand-up, but then they're recycling a lot of our bits and jokes, looking at old Comic View tapes.
Not an old comic.
Old Comic View and recycling our material like we don't know it. I know a Billy Harris joke, may he rest well. I know an AJ Johnson joke. I know these people. I know a Paul Mooney. I know a Dick. We know them because we study this art of comedy. I'm 35 years in this game. So we know these bits and stuff that y'all are recycling, whatever. And then they get to the comedy club. They want the most, or the venues, they selling out. They getting the most money, but they can't follow none of us. They can't follow nobody. And then the promoters coming to us telling me, well, can you headline? No, you giving this person $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to my $3,000 or $4,000. No, they need to learn.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna mount this stage up to let them know where your place is. Get in your place. So I tell them when it was happening, I said, don't just hold on. True stand-up comedy will prevail again. It's gonna come back around. Don't trip. Everybody trying to get skits and do shit or whatever.
I think it's getting back to that.
iPods and video cameras and spending all this money on something that you don't do. But then again, you got to change with the times. You have to change with the times. And we have to learn to change and go with the change.
You do.
So yeah, I don't have a problem.
I think Pierre said that too.
Bashing us. I just don't want them bashing us and taking our money. Get up like the rest of us. Yeah.
What tours you have coming up now? Are you booking show? What you got coming up now, Mama? So they can find you.
My tour is called Damn They Funny AF, and it's myself, Screw Roy Rice, who's a new young comedian. He's got 2 comedy specials on Tubi and Peacock. Go check him out. One is called Screw the Rules, and the other one's called I'm Grown. Speedy, who is Jamie Foxx's best friend, he's our host. He's amazing. Howie Bell from Detroit is on our tour. And sometimes we put Henry Coleman on there, and it just depends on who's available. We'll switch them out, and we're just going all over the country. We started in Atlanta, the Uptown, in December. We've been to the Bay Area. We've been to Memphis, and so we're just out and about on our tour doing our thing. I'm working on my talk show. I'm gonna build it from scratch. I'm gonna start a Kickstarter, GoFundMe, Indiegogo, and y'all gonna watch me build it from scratch. From going to the venue and building and going to the school of set design and getting a set built and all of these things. So you'll be a part of my journey for my own talk show.
Yes. Come on now. I love that because I heard Galby talking about that, saying he has to go for me because he wants to get fund his own Netflix special. And I think Country Wayne did the same thing. I say you do what you got to do. I really want this to happen for you because not saying that people are not funny out there, because I'm not gonna say that, but it's something about, because I grew up with the classic just sit there, laugh so hard till I'm crying. You're one of those. I've laughed so hard watching you. You're just a funny person. The movement, all of I'm not saying people don't have that today. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's something about that where me and my dude watching, late night laughing, and it could be I can laugh at the old stuff. You're funny when I've seen it 5 or 6 times. I've seen your stuff 5 or 6 times, and I still laugh at it like it was yesterday. That is talent, and I'm not saying they don't have it out there, but to me, like you said, they got to earn that, and I just wish they would give you guys that kudos. The Dougs, the Damons.
I will say this.
Some of y'all.
I will say this. People know who I am, and it's all love. Even the comedians, when I go out to the comedy clubs, they show me so much love. There's love, there's respect. hey OG, here's one of the GOATs, here's a legend, here's this, here's that. So the love is there because I've always been an advocate for comedians, but I've also been an advocate for female comedians.
Mhm.
And so people know that and they remember that. And so it's just now it's my turn and it's my time to shine. I'm focused and stuff. Like I don't have any distractions. Before it was my baby, then it was my marriage, then it was it was men, whatever. So I tell them now, this has always been my first love. And even my ex-husband used to say, I wish you loved me as much as you love your comedy. And I said, this is at the time, I said, this is a 25-year love affair with my comedy, which is my first love, and so, like I said on my Vlad interviews and things like that, with these men in relationships, I'm a butterfly. And what do people do with the butterfly? People love the butterfly, but they always want to catch the butterfly and put it in a jar for only to enjoy and look at.
Yes, come on, huh?
And that has been my experience with men, that I'm the butterfly and you always want to clip my wings. I'm a Cancer. You can't clip my wings and stuff. I'm a free.
Same.
I ain't going nowhere.
Same.
Oh, I'm coming back, whatever. And so it has to be a person that is okay with me being who I am. And ladies, you have to pick somebody that just loves you the way you are. At my age, I'll be 58 in a few months. And I don't have time to change for every man that is insecure about who I am. I like to wear nails. If that ain't the type of woman you like, then I'm just not the girl for you. I like to wear wigs. I like to wear weaves. My mouth is bad sometimes. It's fly sometime or whatever. I'm a lot of things. And if you don't like those things, then I'm just not the girl for you, and move on.
Yep. Say it again for the people in the back.
Move on. And everything, because you are insecure. You ain't got nothing going on for yourself. Or you just
my God.
And that's fine. You could be regular, but be regular and then be for me. That's all. So with that being said,
that's easy. That's
with
easy.
With that being said, the doors of the church are open. And if anybody out there that's okay with me being me, and you can be you, and we can cohabitate, and you don't want to change who I am, because I'm certainly not trying to change who you are, holla at your girl. I'm single and free.
Wait a minute.
I'm single and free, Misha, and ready to mingle. I done lost 130 pounds.
Wait a minute. The doors are. Wait a minute. They said the doors of the church is open now. Look, so we gonna.
I don't need no money like that for that, but I need a man. I need a man with some money that can help me fund these dreams.
She said, "Come on down, Jesus."
Let me lay hands on you. Let me lay hands on you. Let me lay hands on you, brother. Let me lay.
Okay. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh my God. Yes. I need to see her on somebody's stage. I need her to come down, do something so I can go to the show. But even if you don't, your YouTube channel, and I'll make sure that I get that shared on my community wall and so they can link it to it. That's where your money can be made.
Okay. Yes.
It. And I'm saying this from like just you need to put
Yeah,
very constantly.
This Sunday, I'm meeting with somebody this Sunday, and I need a social media manager. I can't do all of this by myself. I can't do all this perform. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. It is. Trust me. I don't have a. I wish I did. I run 4 channels, plus all my social media and my podcast. And I do it by myself. And trust me, I'm up at 2 a.m. uploading podcasts, editing the YouTube. You know, I mean, it is what it is. For me to get to over 8,000 subscribers, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, you text me at 2:30. I said, does she know I'm 3 hours behind her? She know I'm asleep.
I work overnight. So I work overnight on top of everything else. I work 11 hours. And so people get mad all the time. And I said, oh shit, I just text her. Because as a habit, I think everybody's up.
How you got a man and doing all of that? Do he be like, baby, now look.
He do a lot. He does. I hear it. And then this weekend I'm busy the whole weekend. He'll be like, I guess I'll see you next week. I do get the comments. It is what it is. But he knows I'm grinding because a second check do come in the house. So you know.
I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to stop fornicating. My pastor said, y'all need to quit fornicating and stuff or whatever. So I'm trying to stop fornicating. So I busy myself up with my businesses and get my stuff together. So when I get home, I'm so tired, I just get into bed. And I ain't got time to call nobody. I got time to be sucking on me and fucking on me or nothing like that or whatever. Because
Oh, Lord,
I'm tired. I gotta
link the time. You want to get it right there?
Yeah, I gotta call one of them up and be like, are you available this day? Like, look, look. I'm like,
scheduled.
Okay. I gotta schedule it
on a Wednesday night. look, I got 1 hour and 15 minutes. Look, that's it.
Right, that's it. What can we do? And stuff. So I gotta get a young boy because I'm old men. You gotta talk to me. You gotta talk to old men. That's a whole nother situation. That's a whole nother story.
It's a lot of work. I realize it's like
I can't do it.
the young guys, you ain't got to do anything. Just walk around naked. They're like, okay. The older guys, I got to wrap it up. Let me stop. I give myself.
They think be hard at the frozen food section at Dollar Tree. Okay, you ain't got to do nothing with them young ones. Them old niggas, you got to
win the blue Jesus. Whoa, you ready?
You got to talk to it, thump it, lick it. You got to have a conversation. Blow on it, pray on it. And stuff.
And in the middle of it, you still gotta do something. Like they was still gotta get together.
You know, they got gout, but they want a girlfriend. Knock it off with your old ass.
Oh, Jesus, help. Oh my God. He gonna kill me.
I'm busy on my thing I got 5. Warren Buffett says you need 7 streams of income to be a millionaire. So I'm working on my 7 strings. I got 5. I don't know what else I can do, Warren. Somebody do something and stuff. Look, but I do the things that I love to do. Yeah, I gotta get it down. I would ask you, but you got too many
YouTube.
Yeah.
I got my 4. Look, me myself, I got 4 channels. I got a grilling channel, a cooking channel, my comedian and celebrity channel, then my biggest one, which is the reality TV. Reality TV is the biggest thing now. So that channel is my biggest one. But I'm loving this channel, what I'm doing now, because interviewing you guys it's so insightful, and I'm talking to the OGs because you guys have so much to add to the new. I'm like, y'all can't forget. If it hadn't been him, y'all wouldn't be doing what y'all doing.
Doug Williams, he texted me and he said, yeah, this girl come. I said, yeah, she contacted me or whatever. She's dope. And he said, I just did an interview with her and we talked for a little while. And he has some challenges in this business as well. And people screwing him over and doing him wrong, and some of his best friends and stuff. So I don't know if he gave that insight, but he's got a lot to talk about as well. And Damon was like my brother.
He's too sweet. He
is a great dude.
He's very respectful like yourself. He said some stuff about Shaq and he brought the roast up, stuff like that. But he didn't want to talk too negative about. But he did give opinions about the Corey Holcomb situation and all that kind of stuff, and how Mike. Well, let me mention real quick. Mike Epps said, and I asked him the same question. He said that Corey Holcomb will not be able to go on the doors that he goes in. He's on Netflix. He's producing. He got these things because Corey Holcomb just tell it like it is. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Corey's a cancer like me. Doug Williams is a cancer and stuff or whatever. And that's part of my problem. They were like, oh, get out your own way or whatever and be quiet sometimes. You got to know when to talk and when not to talk. I said, but, and so it has cost me a lot standing up for my rights, standing up for my right to be respected, standing up for my right to be paid, standing up for my right to that you ain't going to talk to me any kind of way, and it has cost me a lot in this business and stuff because I'm not disrespecting you. Now, if I disrespect you, then you have the right to say what you need to say. But if I'm not, then you don't have the right to talk to me any way you want to because you a producer, you got this going on. And Corey's the same way. And so we all cut from that same cloth of, I'm going to build it myself then. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, y'all won't let me in, won't let me on. I'm going to do my Issa Rae. I'm going to do my Tyler Perry. And I'm going to build it myself.
Yes.
And the reason I'm having a lot of these conversations or I'm being respectful is because I'm going to say it on my own platform. And I don't care because I'm not scared of none of them, whatever. And they know I know. They know I know. So, some of those things that Corey is not going to be able to do, but also the doors that Mike is going into, Corey don't fit in those doors and stuff. Mike has a certain has a certain way he's going to do stuff. You know, he is, I'm not saying Corey isn't talented, but Mike is a good actor. He's got a lot to talk about. He's got characters in him. He looked like Richard Pryor and stuff. So, you know, they're different.
Okay.
So of course, Corey's not going to get what Mike gets because they're different. And then Mike is connected differently than Corey is connected. And that's a lot, you know, so there could be some bitterness. And God, I was bitter for a while, and God told me to stop being bitter and get better. And when you get better, they can't deny you. And so that's what I walk into these doors now, and you know, I walk into clubs, I walk into these doors, and it's nothing but love and respect from most of the comedians. It's a few people. I was assaulted by a female comedian last year, and you know, being very disrespectful, and she hit me, and we just got into a fight. And you know, because she's angry about her career and where it is, because she thinks she should be where we are, you know, OGs, and we just allow her to hang with us. And it's like, you haven't put in the work. You haven't put in the work Luenell has put in. You haven't put in the work that I have put in. You ain't put in the work some more has put in, or even with Monique. And people, you know, Monique is my girl, and she gave me a shout out because 25 years ago, when we were being mistreated by Comic View, I was vocal. I was with that bandwagon and on that with Cheryl Underwood, that petition to get us paid. And Monique was like, "Oh, why are you doing this? This is our only Black network that's giving us the opportunity." I said, because if you allow us to treat, if we allow them to treat us like that, then it's never going to end. Everybody's going to treat us like that. And now 30 years later, she's like, Hope was right 25 years ago. Hope was right 30 years ago when she said that. I didn't see it then. So now she's fighting a fight that I already had been fighting. And we're still fighting the same fight. But we opened this 25, 30 years ago. So it's not new what she's saying. It's just new players that came up, but they're doing the same old shit. You know,
and
whatever. So,
have y'all talked? Have you and Monique talked since all that was?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And God, this is what I'm coming to. God gave me an epiphany about it, that Monique has lost a lot to be in this business. Her son, her relationships, her marriages. She's lost her family. She's lost a lot to be in this business. It has cost her a lot to be in this business. And more importantly, the things that she has said about the big players, why would she lie about these people? Why would she lie? That's career suicide.
Right.
That's career suicide. Why would she lie about these people? You know, I just think the way she's going about it may not be right. But like I told her, me and Luenell, the only people who ever called her, and she'll tell you that. And she said, Hope and Luenell, the only people that called me and said, we fucks with you. We stand with you, you know, whatever. But I can't do it publicly because I'm trying to get back home. I just look like a hater and stuff or whatever. I look bitter, a hater and stuff. But we stand with you. The DL situation, I didn't agree with, because DL is my favorite comedian. He's my mentor. I just felt like those people came for a show. Those people came to be entertained. In Detroit, they dress up, they get fly.
Yes, they do.
They dress up. You got 2 tickets. You got to get parking. You want to get something to eat. You get your hair done, and you get at the barbershop. You get an outfit. You know, all of that. This is a $500 night. Nobody came to hear about what they didn't know nothing about. If you had a beef, you should have got up there, did your job, killed it, so DL wouldn't have been able to follow, which is impossible. And then, like, I got a beef with this, meet me in the lobby. But it was really the promoter's job to say who the headliner was. But it was clear who the headliner was. But if there was a beef, then the promoter, she should have went to the promoter and said, who's headlining? It would have been squashed. But so we realized it was something else. It was something more personal, and she talked about all of that or whatever. So I didn't agree with that, but everything else that she has fought for and has been fighting for and what she's been exposing, I absolutely stand with her and behind her with those things. And we got to start standing behind each other. Like when Vivica didn't stand behind Taraji, talking about she over here getting checks and this and that. You getting checks with Clear Shield? That ain't a check. And Ice-T's new sitcom, when I saw it, I was like, you over here doing that? You know, and you don't have the range Taraji has. But why do we as Black people stand behind each other? You know, we have to stand behind each other. Otherwise, we're never going to get what we want or deserve if nobody stands with us.
I'm sorry, because I just saw that commercial with Clear Shit.
I was like, oh, they got a new sitcom. Yay.
Oh my God, I can't. Mm-mm-mm. But it's but it's true. What you said was so true. The thing about the Monique situation, I love, because as far as women, we don't hold each other accountable. I love how you said at the same time, yes, supporting her, all these things, but I'm also holding her accountable because I didn't agree with this. I love that you did that, because you
Yeah.
could easily just say, yeah, I agree, but you're like, nah, I didn't agree with some of those things. And I understand what you're saying, not doing it publicly, because people do say that. Now, these days, when they say you a hater, probably not. People want to hear from you, which is why I wanted to interview you, because I feel like it's not being a hater. If that's the case, then everybody's a hater in 2024. It's all everybody doing is talking crap. So you need to be out there talking crap right there with them and getting a coin.
I will. I gotta get a new church home, because this level of where I'm going in this thing, I need some divine intervention. I need some protection, whatever. Because this game, God has sent so many people in the industry to be a light and pluck them out, and He has lost them in there. And so I'm not gonna get lost, because not only do I know who I am, I know whose I am. And so with that being said, with that being said, it's just going to take a lot of daggers and stuff. So I'm asking your viewers to just pray for me and camp angels around me, and pray that I keep my mind, I keep my integrity, I keep my character, I keep my morals and my values intact on this next level, and that God opens doors that no man can close, and that my name be in rooms and conversations that I don't even know and speak about, and that the favor of God is on me to get to this next level, because I want it. I want my career. I've earned it. They're not better than me, but if funny was the criteria, I know I can name 50 comedians right off the bat who should be famous, but that's not the criteria, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It is. And there's so many. But you're gonna have yours. And if in any assistance you need from me, because YouTube and social media literally is my world, unfortunately. Please. Trust me. I had a channel before that had over 3,000 subscribers, and I deleted it and started over again. And now I have over 8,000. So I know how to do it. I know what ticks. I know what You can hit me up anytime. I got you. Can we think about I got you. This is like I love doing it.
So you work overnight, so it's good to text you or whatever.
You can hit me up at 2 a.m. I'm going to be away because I have to run the whole team. So yeah, I got to get that coin. In any means, I'm a grinder. So trust me, I'll be up creating my stuff for my interviews. Like this whole thing. To be honest,
I bet you're a Capricorn. You a Capricorn?
I'm a Cancer.
You are. Yeah. That's why I didn't think so, because when I kept saying a Cancer, you never say yeah or whatever.
No, I'm going to the end. I'll bounce out of 5th.
We're Cancer, but I think we're Jamaican too. We just but we love the work.
I've been called that. I've been called that. They say before I became a blogger, I always had 3 jobs or 2 jobs. I like to have money and take care of myself, because that's my mom. So I always like to work. And so but I like to talk, and I want to be a producer one day. So literally I just started doing all this YouTube stuff, and I had panels, mentees that I help get to their own channel. Like it's the whole thing for me. I want this to be my main gig.
Yes. Okay.
Right now I can't, it's rough. For people have left their job for this. I can't do it because I like money. So it's like I do both until God says it's your time. Just like
it's your time, and it will happen and stuff. So
I mean, it is what it is.
Keep grinding and stuff, but that's what we are. Cancers have 5, 6, 7, 8 jobs, and we can do it all. People are like, how you gonna get all that done? Watch me. I'm gonna get it done. I did a comedy convention.
But we're very moody and very loyal.
Yeah, and we're very loyal to a fault and stuff or whatever. But I had a comedy convention I did for 10 years, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. And last year was my last year. People's like, hope you need to do it again. I was like, I need a bag and I need a team and everything. And I could take it all out of my head and give it to somebody. And every time I tried to give it to somebody, God would say, but I gave it to you. This it's like a baby. He said, this your baby. I gave it to you, and you keep trying to get a baby away. And it's not for you to give the baby away, because I gave it to you to do. Okay. And so a lot of times we, can't nobody do it like you.
And this is true as well. It is. I mean, a team is something you probably need because of what you are trying to do. A small team, at least somebody can help with social media, like you're saying, and other stuff, so you can have hands off. You don't have to be hands on with everything except for the money part. but but the money part, you're gonna be hands on that. That's just it.
Absolutely.
But I know you're gonna get there. Your channel's gonna grow. With YouTube, that'd be a great place for you to be on there. Like I said, Corey Holcomb has a whole career, and you
Yeah.
did radio. I
Mhm.
can see you doing what Corey does, but female version. I would love it for you to have a
Mhm.
couple people on your podcast,
Yeah.
and y'all
And I
do
got
it.
a whole studio. Linnell has a studio, and she said, "Hope you can use it anytime you want to."
Wow, Linnell, I'm gonna need you to do that and have. Ooh, Lord, if y'all were on one podcast together every night, it would be. I no shade to Corey, but baby, y'all would blow them out the water. I'm sorry, y'all
Yeah,
would.
she's so busy, and she lives in Vegas now. She comes
Okay.
back and forth to LA, but she lives in Vegas. It's hard for me to catch up with Boo, my bestie and stuff. But we riders, we ride or die. She's like, "Oh, wherever I'm going, I'm taking you with me. Don't worry about it. Don't trip. I got you. I
Mm,
got you."
love
You know,
it.
'cause I had to sit her down. We've been friends 30 plus years. And I went into her house and I said, "Look, I know you got all these people around you now, and you got a lot going on, but sometimes you need that friend, that good girlfriend
Mhm,
that you had when in the
mhm,
struggle.
good Judy.
Yeah, that good Judy that you had in
Mhm,
the struggle." And I said, "I don't want nothing from you or anything like that, because I genuinely love you and adore you. And I'm so happy for you, because it inspires me to keep moving,
mm,
to know that I'm going to get there, that I can get there and stuff, because I see
yes.
you grinding your work." I said, "But I will be that person for you. When I could go, I'll come and go with you and be that person." And she really appreciated that. And so I went to New York with her when she did the Tamron Hall show, and she did the on Chicago Broadway. She had a small little role on the Broadway play Chicago. I went to New York. We hung out. We had a good time. And everybody was like, "Wow, she was so calm."
Wow.
It was different. I said, because I'm that friend. I'm not asking for anything. I'm self-sufficient. I can get around. She don't have to worry about me. She or anything like that. And then we get together, we laugh, we clown, we talk. Her daughter is my niece. She loves me. Her whole family loves me and stuff. And so, and sometimes you need that one friend. You just need it. You know,
Yes.
you just need
Yes.
that one friend among all the handlers. You need that one or two people
Mm,
that's just been
I
around,
love that.
and that's who we are. And but I'm so proud of her. So I want to shout out my girl Lunell for all her
Oh, I
work.
love that. That's a beautiful. Oh, I love that. This clip gonna be
Shout
shared
out
everywhere.
our other queens. Should shout out other queens. Kim Whitley,
Mm,
her thing done. Kim Whitley put me in my first movie, Baby Boy. I shout out Kim. She getting it and
that's
everything.
right. That's right. Baby,
Working back towards those things.
that's
I
right.
can't remember everything, Kamisha, no more. I'm older, and then I had COVID 2 or 3 years ago. I was in the hospital 3 months, almost died.
Oh no. Oh my God.
And part of the
Wow.
side
Mm,
effects is that your memory. So my memory is
yeah.
I couldn't remember my act for years, and so Saturday I had to do a set, and I had to do 45 minutes, and I
Mm,
remembered everything and everything. I could have done an hour or more, but I only was required to do 45 minutes, and I did it to stretch out to see if I could remember. So now I'm back.
right.
I'm back, and I'm just on stages, and I'm looking for work. I'm looking for work for our tour. Damn, they funny as F. And y'all can hit me up on hopeflood.com,
Yes.
hope.flood on Instagram, and go buy a hat, go buy some lip glitter, go buy some cannabis, heal yourself with cannabis and CBD, and quit letting people tell you that it's not a healer, because it is. I think I'm done.
Yes,
My work here is
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. First of all, my, my work here is done. First of all, mine is done. I got the chance to have the queen of comedy on my
okay.
platform. I know that you say you get love. I think you deserve more love than what you get, to be honest. Like all that you said that Linnell has, and I love Linnell. I think Hope Flood should have that awesome. And that's just me
It
saying
ain't
that because
over.
I've been a fan.
It ain't over. It's
Oh
coming.
no, I know it ain't. It's coming. This conversation is manifestation. I believe in it. It's been said. It's in the air. It's going to happen. So I'm not worried about it happening. I'm just one. It's going to be a win situation. So I'm
In the
super excited.
in the next 2 years, you will see it. I'm not giving
I
myself.
believe it.
I'm gonna do this to them. Like Lunell said, our goal is to die on stage in mid
Oh
joke.
snap!
That's our goal.
I think Robert Williams said that. Miss, he did. He said, "See, I'm a big fan of comedy. I know old school to the very first woman on stage that was talking and knew her background and everything. The woman was lesbian. I didn't know any of that. I found it out like 2 years ago. I was like, what? But Miles Mabley, I didn't know that
It was
her
a
life
big.
outside.
He was a stud before they called them bulldaggers back then.
Yeah,
And
they
you
did.
would never know who she was outside of it because she didn't even look like that because she wasn't even an old lady. She wasn't even an old lady.
Right. I
And-
saw her picture. I was like,
And she pulled some of the best
Wow.
women in the business. She pulled
Mm.
some of the best beautiful women in the business and stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
man, we gotta dig down and talk about that old. One day we gotta talk about that old school, like the Maz Maybelline, going back as far. You said Paul Mooney. Like I say, I know about the greats and even to the now. When I say I do this and research it, I've been a fan even before I became a blogger, so I know about Red Fox and listening to the old album. Maybe I can take it there, but
Yeah.
but I want the people to understand the history because. Love the new stuff, but I don't want people, the kids, to think this is the new comedy like they didn't know about the old stuff. That's why I'm
Well, once they
talking
get
about it.
there,
I don't want
let me
them
tell
to
you, the audience is mature enough that once they get there and they see them and then they see us, they were like, oh, I get it now. This is the real comedy. This is the real OGs. This is how it's supposed to be done. So trust me, people are being exposed. Don't worry about it. That's why they're going back and getting jokes and doing their homework and getting on stage and learning how to do stand-up if they're gonna stay in this lane. Because once all the OGs and all of us get on stage and they see how it's done right and correctly, they like, oh, okay, well, that person's been a fraud or they duped me or whatever. I didn't get the full, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. What do you think? I keep saying one more question, I swear, but you're just good at. I'm enjoying my interview with you. But the Queens of Comedy, why weren't you a part of that? Was there a reason, or was there a reason why you were a part? I would ask you that.
With you, Kamisha, I pitched the idea to Walter Latham. I was at the Kings of Comedy at the Universal Amphitheater, Cheryl Underwood and I, years ago. And because Steve Harvey's first manager was my friend, we grew up together in my hometown, Benton Harbor, Michigan. So he gave me tickets. And so I went up to Walter Latham, who was the producer of it, creator of it. And I said, why don't you do a Queens of Comedy? And I pitched me, Lunel, Melanie Camacho, and Cheryl Underwood at the time. I pitched us four. He said it would
good. Yeah.
never work. He said, don't nobody want to see a bunch of bitches on stage talking shit all night. That's what he said. This was early though. This was early. And then next thing I know, Queens of Comedy.
That's trash.
Next thing I know, Queens of Comedy.
Has he ever admitted that?
Of course not. He would never admit that, even having that conversation with me. But Cheryl would. I don't know if she would, but she was standing right there.
Right.
And we pitched it. And not only did he not include me or her, he went on and got some other girls who weren't as popular as we were at the time. And Monique got on it because she had a sitcom, which was The Parkers, coming out. And so that's how she got involved in it. And the rest, I don't know. But yeah. But the Queens didn't do what the Kings did because he didn't put as much funding and money and stuff behind it as he should have and could have to make it successful as the Kings. All of those guys are millionaires, not the Queens. Not the Queens from that. Let me just say.
Right. Right. I know one of the girls on there was from one of the girls on there was from, she played Martin's mom. I'm not Martin, Cole's mom.
Yeah,
on the show. That's how I knew who she was. Yeah, it was Laura. That's how I knew who she was. But that is dirty though to me.
He never paid Laura her money. He still owes Laura a lot of money. She quit comedy after that. She don't even want to pick up a mic anymore because of that situation. Treated her like shit.
I wonder what happened to her.
Treated her like shit.
She's hilarious, talented, an actress. She should be. I wonder what happened to her. She just got out the business because of this. She won't even pick up a microphone. Every time she wants to come back and do comedy, she just gets anxiety all over again from that experience of how he thinking about her. That. Wait till I tell these stories. Wait till I tell. I'm working on the podcast fall, September. The Hope Flood show. It's called Hope's House. It's coming. Oh, I'm gonna be coming on that part. I can't wait for this, baby. I cannot wait. You finna Corey, no shade, but when she come on, baby, it's a wrap. Cause look, you think he raw? She more raw than Corey is. I'm sorry. I've seen. And I got way more. Raw. I got way more stories. I got stories like Cat Williams stories. Oh, man, I got information and insider shit like Cat Williams. That's why people was calling me like, "Oh, that's your story. That's your story." I was like, I know.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm surprised you ain't saying about this whole P. Diddy situation because you know everybody got a story about P. Diddy. Now,
I never encountered him, so I don't have a story because
it's probably a good thing because you probably would have dragged him. All this mess coming on right now. It's just a mess. But oh my God,
this is the year God is exposing everybody.
It is
the year of God is exposing people because we have put these people on pedestals and made them gods. And God said, "Yeah, well, you know God before me." And so God is exposing these people for who they really are, for Him to show you that. See, you're following these people and trying to be like these people, and they're not me. And you put them on pedestals, and you have and made them gods, and they are not. A lot of these people are monsters.
I think they're modern or not. They're very much so a monster, just like the church. Unfortunately, I'm just saying. Man, hope you didn't get. Man, hope I'm swear. Hope you everything, mama, and I want you to get everything, and you deserve it. I already know that her podcast gonna be everything because as soon as she gets on YouTube and starts recording and getting on, you said September. It's a wrap for anybody on podcast doing a comedy talking about. I love DCs. I watch this too.
No, it's a talk show. It's not a podcast. It's an actual
talk show. I'm sorry. Oh, it's gonna be an actual talk show with the. Okay, I got you. Either way, still gonna be good. Still gonna be funny. But you're gonna have guests on there and everything. Probably comments on there. Or y'all can. Oh, it's gonna be on.
Yeah. We're gonna clown. We got a whole section of just clowning people.
Okay. Make sure you tell me all the information so I can share it with everybody because it's going to be phenomenal. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, this is the Queen of Comedy. She obviously invented the Queen of Comedy and got the rights for it. It's unfortunate when queens such as this do not get the accolades that they deserve. And she is one of them. It's very frustrating, but I'm trying to understand that she is the queen, which is why I had this crown up behind her picture. They look up to her, whether they speak on her name or not, they should. And after I get through this interview, I'm gonna drop clips everywhere so that they do. Period. Okay. Thank you for coming on to my channel.
I got on my Queen Crown shirt today.
Because she is that.
I step into my
Don't get it twisted, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is everything, Mama. I really appreciate you coming on. Why is it not stop? I'm about to say what's going on with that. Yeah, thank you, Mama, for coming on. I appreciate it. I will give you details, everything about when I drop this live. It's gonna be a premiere, but guys, I'm gonna have all her links and everything in the chat. So when you click on the my YouTube or her stuff on it, you have her YouTube video, her website. So y'all can go follow her and check out all her new content and get ready for what she has with the guys, but the bless her what's about to happen, which is everything. Okay, it is her time. It's been her time, really. With that being said, y'all know me what it is. One thing I want you guys to know, and that nothing that will never change about this, I am the queen of reality TV. Don't get it twisted and don't doubt it. It is what it is. Period.